Hello there, welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, intense fighting ongoing these minutes near Woldia, main city in North Wollo, around 10 kilometers away from Woldia. Heavy fighting ongoing these minutes. Which Fano faction is operating? Can we say that gradually, slowly, Fano factions are advancing towards big cities? They have been seen in small towns, but now fighting clashes between Fano and security forces being reported in areas close to big cities. Secondly, a burial ceremony of some Fano fighters was held in Gondar yesterday. Pictures of the killed Fano fighters were shown. How many were buried yesterday in Gondar? And whenever Fano fighters are killed in this insurgency, Fano factions don't hide casualties. They share details, they conduct burial ceremonies. What about Ethiopian National Defense Force? What about police, militia? How many police, militia, ENDF members have been killed so far? And why is that government is not owning the casualties suffered by ENDF police and militia members in Amhara region? And thirdly was two statements yesterday. First one was from the Amhara region, which extended olive branch to Fano fighters. Secondly, Ethiopian National Defense Force issued two very important statements, one yesterday and the other one 2 days ago. The statements mention the insurgency, the elements, allegedly extremist elements operating in Ethiopia. ENDF seems to be implying that it is not deploying its entire force, it is showing restraint. Firstly, viewers, these minutes heavy fighting is ongoing between Fano factions and Ethiopian National Defense Force close to Woldia. Woldia is in North Wollo, and in Woldia we saw that Gobalafto education officer was assassinated 2 days ago. He was in Woldia when he was attacked by unknown armed men. Then Woldia city prosperity chief also came under attack. He was taken to Dassi hospital for treatment. So in Woldia assassinations, and in the vicinity of Woldia, Fano fighters gradually advancing. Sanka is a small town or village which is situated around 10 to 15 kilometers away from Woldia, from the outskirts of Woldia city. And heavy fighting erupted between Fano fighters and Ethiopian National Defense Force in Sanka. Locals say that sounds of gunfire were heard for hours. Some vehicles have been burned too. Fano factions claim they inflicted heavy losses on Ethiopian National Defense Force in Sanka. And they claim that ENDF retreated after suffering losses in Sanka. Obviously, it's difficult to verify these claims. Only confirmation is that in Sanka there was intense fighting between the two sides. So gradually, Fano factions approaching big cities. Which Fano faction is operating near Woldia on Sanka front? Reportedly, the faction led by two colonels, Colonel Muhawao Fantahun, Colonel Mogas Zegai, are leading this Fano faction. This Fano faction led by two colonels is becoming a serious challenge for Ethiopian National Defense Force. This Fano faction, in a very short period of time, has managed to control territories. It has entered big towns. We saw fighters of this faction in Vagaltana, in some other parts of Wollo too. East Amhara Fano, now you can say, has two factions. One is led by Mere Vodajo, and the other ones are led by these two colonels, Mogas Zegai and Fantahun. And the faction led by Mogas Zegai and Fantahun Mabao is very active. This faction has managed to be a very strong, it has managed to pose a very strong resistance to Ethiopian National Defense Force. But we have not seen that this faction is interested in taking control of towns, cities. Yes, East Amhara Fano fighters entered Gashina, they entered Maked, they entered Askatima, they were seen in Vagaltana too, but they retreated from most of these places. They were there, they entered the towns, ENDF reinforcements came, then these towns were vacated reportedly. Especially Vagaltana, near Maked, Gashina, there is still presence of these Fano factions. And yesterday I reported that new ENDF reinforcements had arrived by air in Amhara on Lalibela airport. From there, reportedly, a ground offensive is going to be launched on this Fano faction, which is becoming a serious challenge for Ethiopian National Defense Force in North Wollo, Waghimra and South Gondar. So, heavy fighting ongoing. Woldia is going to be destabilized, it seems. If fighting is ongoing 10 to 15 kilometers away from Woldia, it means Fano fighters will try to reach Woldia too. Obviously, they will not try to remain in control of Woldia, but they will register their presence, that they are there, that they are a force to reckon with. So, if they manage to keep their strength intact near Sanga, on Sanga front, you will see them enter Woldia, I think, in coming days. Secondly, viewers, Fano fighters, some were buried yesterday. A ceremony burial program was held in Dambia. Dambia is in Gondar, I think, North Gondar, I think. And in Dambia, around a dozen Fano fighters were buried. They died in the last 1 week or so. They died. They were killed in fighting on Chohait and Damia fronts around 3 to 4 days ago. Then yesterday they were buried, a ceremony was held, people were there, Fano fighters were there. Pictures of the killed, the buried Fano fighters were displayed at the burial program. So Fano factions are not hiding their losses. Whenever their comrades die, they bury them, they attend their burial ceremonies. People do. But we are not seeing similar burial ceremonies of ENDF soldiers, police members, militia members. That is why I say that this operation on Fano is not being owned by the government. Fano fighters burying their killed fighters publicly. ENDF members being buried secretly, police militia members being buried secretly. No one knows how many died. Were their families given any support? You cannot mobilize forces until and unless you back them fully. Government will have to back these forces. Government will have to tell the forces that government is behind them. But so far this backing is missing. That is why we see that police militias, they are scattered, their leaders are being assassinated, they are under pressure, and they are part of the operation, but they try to be only part of those operations where ENDF is participating. But there is no ENDF, police militia members flee, they don't pose any resistance to Fano factions. The killed, buried Fano fighters are from Koragnao Brigade, which is based in Gondar. New brigades are being established almost on daily basis. We are seeing new names, new Fano brigades, new Fano platforms, new zonal level brigades are being established. In Diga Remote, we saw that 6 cities, Fano factions united, and they decided to work jointly. So still Fano is evolving itself in terms of organizing, in terms of regrouping, in terms of progressing towards some sort of central or zonal level authority. But the mode of the struggle is that they won't be led by one single unit, because they believe that independent, regional, zonal, local level Fano factions are more effective than all Fano factions under one central command. So they might make some central body, or they might announce the appointment of some central leader, but that body or that leader won't be calling the shots. These Fano factions want to remain independent, and they say this is the way to survive, because if they come under one central authority and central authority is neutralized somehow, it means all Fano factions will be scattered. So they want to remain independent, but at the same time they want somebody which can represent them. The central authority would only be a type of spokesperson of Fano factions. It might engage government in talks, but real decisions are being made on the ground by people like Messafint, like Mogazzegai, Fantahun, Babao Fantahun, other East Amhara Fano commanders, Blateshigao, Meribodajo, etc., Skandar. These are real men who are making decisions, but they need, and they are working on formation of some central body which could work as a type of spokesperson or representative of the organization. Thirdly, viewers, 2 statements yesterday from Amhara regional government and Ethiopian National Defense Force. Amhara regional government once again offered olive branch to the Fano factions. It invited Fano fighters to dialogue. It said that there is no prosperity without peace, and peace cannot come without dialogue, and you cannot achieve peace through violent means. That is why dialogue should be held. This is second statement from the government calling for peace. A few days ago, Amhara regional president invited Fano fighters for dialogue. He announced the formation of zonal level committees. 5 members of parliament of Amhara region from each zone were to be selected rather, for talks with Fano factions. The MPs would seek the support of religious leaders, notables, to talk to Fano factions, but that offer of dialogue did not make any progress because Fano did not respond positively. So yesterday another offer, second offer from Amhara regional government to Fano to sit at the table, but no response so far. Fighting ongoing near Woldia, I just reported. Secondly, Ethiopian National Defense Force also spoke yesterday. It issued a statement through its social media page. ENDF says that it is not rushing things when it comes to handling extremist forces. Here ENDF is definitely addressing Fano faction, that ENDF has the capability. It can exterminate the factions, Fano factions, but it is showing restraint. It does not want to rush things. By the way, ENDF tried to launch major offensives in Amhara. It could not. Had there been no public support for Fano factions, by now ENDF would have cleared Amhara region. Fano leaders would have been arrested or they would have been in hiding. But due to massive public support for Fano factions, Ethiopian National Defense Force could not continue operations. We saw that wherever Fano factions came under pressure, they called for public support, public took the streets, ENDF had to withdraw. So, main problem for ENDF is public support for Fano factions. It's not that ENDF is not conducting operations. Yes, we can say that maybe ENDF can deploy more force too. It can use its assets, air assets too. It can deploy commando units, Republican Guard, some deployed already reportedly. Yes, ENDF has not deployed its entire strength, we would agree. Having said that, it's not that ENDF is not doing anything. ENDF has adopted several tactics in Amhara region. Tactics are not working. Fano factions are getting bigger, public support for them increasing. They are getting more organized, no issue regarding delivery of logistics to them. Money is flowing as well to support Fano factions. And they're not suffering lots of losses. Both sides are suffering losses. So, ENDF will have to change its tactics. It's not that ENDF is showing restraint and it is not doing anything. Yes, it showed restraint. At the same time, it tried to control the situation. It could not. It's not that the region has been destabilized because of the restraint shown by ENDF. ENDF is still engaging Fano fighters on different fronts, fighting ongoing. So, ENDF will have to change tactics. Let's see, will there be dialogue or will ENDF change gears? We'll see in upcoming months. Thank you.